Professor Joe O'Mahony from Consulting Mastered here. I said that I would share a few videos and some content from the book I'm writing about how to grow your professional service firm or management consultancy firm in order to be more successful or to sell it. This is the first video that I'm sharing. I've developed a view on strategy. There's various views on strategy I take in the book. This one is very much reflecting the 50 founders that I've interviewed who have gone on to sell their consulting firms for between 5 and 50 million, depending on their size and various other factors. So this is what I'm calling the value strategy for professional service firms. If you think about your typical management consultancy, which is mostly focused around client relationships, with small management consultancies, you'll probably be focused on 2 to 3 core relationships, and you get market information in. You provide some leadership, so the big blue box in the middle is obviously the consultancy. Typically it will only be you, so when I say leadership, I'll be talking more about that in a second. Now I'm going to introduce 4 boxes, and these are the key areas of value that need to be managed and constantly improved if you are going to sell your consulting firm. The first is the knowledge system. Now, the consulting firms exist in 2 markets. The first is the market for clients, and the second is the market for employees. And they need to be successful in both in order to succeed financially. The most important one, at least when you're starting up, is your market for clients. The market for clients is based entirely around your expertise. You need a system to manage and improve your expertise, and I've called that the knowledge system. And that is really a system for capturing your experience, knowledge, and research in a way that firstly improves you as a consultant, but secondly, as you go on to recruit more consultants, improves the value that they provide. So this is the knowledge system, researching knowledge, capturing knowledge, sharing knowledge, and having a process to manage it. The second thing is the marketing system. Obviously, consultancy is a pull-led industry. If it does what the clients ask it to do. If you don't have a marketing system that takes your clients from cold to warm, you're not going to be very good at getting new clients. And this is where some of the smaller consultancies I've spoken to really struggle, because they're very good at establishing the relationships that they've had with friends or past colleagues. When it comes to building new relationships, they really struggle. So this is really about building a system for your marketing, and this is primarily based on the demonstration of thought leadership and getting the thought leadership out there. Now, there's obviously an arrow that goes from the knowledge system to the marketing system. What you're doing is taking your core thought leadership that obviously needs to be built around the problems that you solve for the client, and you need to give serious thought to those problems, and the systems that you use to disseminate and manage that. And what I find with a lot of smaller consultancies, and actually some large consultancies that I've worked for, is that they're very good at producing thought leadership. In fact, many of them aren't very good at producing thought leadership, but that's a whole another set of slides. But what they aren't very good at is managing that. So, somebody likes the thought leadership, well, so what? What do they do? You need almost a call for action at the end of the thought leadership, and you need a system for looking at who has read it, who has responded to it, who has commented on it, and then capturing that information. And that's something that is absolutely crucial to build if you are going to build a management consultancy that's successful. The third system is your service system. So this is really where you start to turn your knowledge and expertise into services. So your knowledge system is an internal thing. Your service system is something that is facing outwards. And this is built around your unique value proposition, whatever that is going to be. These are the tools and methods, digital services, packaging and branding that your services have. And again, if I'm not saying that all of the services that you need to offer clients need to be sort of this commodified product that is very often recommended in the literature, because many of the most successful consultancies I've interviewed, for example, Elixir, and still do a lot of bespoke work, but the process by which they do that bespoke work is fairly standardized. And the process by which they capture the knowledge, manage the work, report on the work, etc., is fairly standardized. And this is really their service system. However, with most consultancies, you're going to be talking about a balance between sort of bespoke work and more standardized products. Obviously, the more standardized and commodified you can get, the easier it is to recruit cheaper people to deliver the work for you and achieve higher quality results and more standardized results. It's also more attractive for clients to buy. So the service system is the third system of value that I would argue was crucial to producing a successful consultancy. And the final system is the talent system. This is really about when you start to grow, and it's about building the systems to manage the recruitment, training, mentoring, but really all of these things are connected. So your internal knowledge system is going to have a direct impact upon your talent system. So how you manage, recruit and train people. And obviously there's different ways of training people. Some consultancies pass on that knowledge through mentoring, others do it in a more formal training system, and that's going to depend on the type of consultancy you are. So these are all the different forms of value. I've added in suppliers as well, because one of the things that I really noticed as an input to some of the more successful consultancies is that they're not just successful about what they do, they're also very successful about managing the suppliers for them. And these are very much knowledge or software suppliers that they can enhance their own products and services with and offer those solutions to clients. Again, the better consultancies don't just focus on the internal value that they can provide for their clients, but also looking at the market, scouring the horizons and finding innovative, creative ways of adding value by bringing in partners. So this picture gives an idea of how I see value strategy for professional service firms. And it certainly seems to be core to the success of many of the firms that I've interviewed. The crux of this is obviously the line going across the middle, the leadership. And leadership is responsible for the strategy, defining the niche and setting the culture. And those have an effect on all of these systems. But at the core, if you're not building these systems, then it's going to be impossible for you to scale successfully, because you're going to be trying to manage everything yourself. When you have these systems in place, it makes it much easier for you to hand off the management of these systems to other partners, or if you get big enough, a second tier of management. Anyway, I talked very quickly through that, so I'll put some words around it for the book and post that up on LinkedIn or in the Facebook group. Anyway, I hope that was useful, at least interesting. Please give me your comments because I'm doing this to be helpful, and these are my reflections on the literature, but also my experiences in the interviews I've done. But I'd really like any opinions or comments or criticisms, please, lots of criticisms on this. Okay, thank you for your time. I hope that was useful. Take care. Bye-bye.